In part 3 of our video, we're going to look at more properties of kites and trapezoids. We're going to start with number 11. What we need to look at here to solve for x is we need to ignore this bottom trapezoid here and realize that this top shape is a kite. What we know is that this is 137, so the opposite angle to this one is 137. What you have to be careful of is most people think that since this is 22, this is also 22. That's a very incorrect statement, because it's not necessarily congruent to each other. What you do have to use is the fact that the quadrilaterals will always add up to 360 degrees. So in solving for this, you have to add 137, 137, and 22. See what that is. Excuse me for a second. That gives us 296, and we're going to take 360 minus 296 to get our answer. Our answer should be 64. X equals 64. To look for y, we're going to look down here in this trapezoid, and we need to use the properties of isosceles trapezoid since it has the markings there. We know since this arc and this arc are same that this angle is 137. What you need to pay attention to is the fact that you have consecutive angles, which says that 137 and y are supplementary. They add to 180. To solve for that, you're going to take away 137 from both sides. It's 43 degrees. Let's look at this kite right here. Well, we know that y is inside this triangle right here. Since the angle bisector, this is 41, this is also 41. What you're going to want to do is add 41 and 90. That's 131, and you're going to take 180 minus 131. That's 49 degrees right there. And to solve for x over here, you have to use the similar property, saying that this is a right triangle. You add 90 and 78 this time. Gives us 168. We're going to go 180. Take away 168. That gives us 12 degrees for that one. Flip it over to the back. What we need to use here is the fact that we have a mid-segment. It tells us it's a mid-segment. So what we do is we add 3 plus 9 and divide it by 2. That tells us that that's going to be 12 divided by 2, that's 6. That tells me that this right here should equal 6. So I'm going to say x plus 2 equals 6. Take away 2 from both sides. X equals 4. Now, in order to figure out y, you need to realize that this is a giant trapezoid right here. And again, consecutive angles are supplementary. 3y minus 2 plus 122 equals 180. You combine your like terms. 3y plus 120 equals 180. Minus 120 from both sides. 3y equals 60. Divide by 3. Y equals 20 on this one. Let's take a peek at this problem right here. Understanding that this is a giant trapezoid, again, is a key concept here. We do know that since it's a base angle, this one's also 64 degrees, and we know that 564 plus 5y plus 1 equals 180. They're supplementary. 64 and 1 is 65, plus 5y equals 180. We're going to take away 65. That's going to get us 5y equals 115. We divide by 5. That's going to get us 23 for y. In order to set up this question right here, we have to go 5x plus 18. All divided by 2 equals 7x. We're going to multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that 2 over there. These cancel out. 5x plus 18 equals 14x. Take away 5x. We have 18 equals 9x. Divide by 9. X equals 2. Number 15, we have another trapezoid with a mid-segment. Now the key here is not the fact of finding the mid-segment. The key here is understanding that when you have a mid-segment, these two pieces are congruent. So we have 2y equals 22, and also 4x minus 6 equals x plus 9. We'll get there in a second. Divide by 2 to solve that one. Y equals 11. To solve for this one, we're going to add 6, 4x equals x plus 15 minus x from both sides. 3x equals 15, and then we divide both sides by 3, giving us 5 for x. The key concept here again is solving for the midsegment. We know 3x plus 2 plus our other base, 2x plus 1, all divided by 2 equals our midsegment, 2x plus 4. Well, we can combine like terms here. 5x, 2 and 1 is 3, still divided by 2, still gives us the midsegment, 2x plus 4. Again, we multiply by 2. Keep in mind here that we have to distributive property. 5x plus 3 equals 2 times 2x is 4x, 2 times 4 is 8. We're going to minus 4x. We have up here, we have x plus 3 equals 8, and then we take away 3. We get x equals 5. However, again, that's not the end of our problem. They're asking us for the perimeter as well. We know this side is 12. We know this side is 16. When we plug 5 in here, 3 times 5 plus 2, that gives us 17. And when we plug in 2 times 5 plus 1, that gives us 11. So we have to add up all these, 12 plus 17 plus 16 plus 11. That gives us 23, 39, 56. All right, let's look at our next one. We have to keep in mind here that since this is 72, it's a base angle. This other angle is 72, and again, base angles are supplementary. 72 plus 5y minus 2 equals 180. Combine my like terms, 72 minus 2 is 70, plus 5y equals 180 still. Take away 70. 5y equals 110. Divide by 5, x, or y equals 22. In order to solve for x, we have to do 32 plus 13 and divide that in half. So let's see, 32 plus 13 divided by 2, 22.5. So this side right here needs to be 22.5. So what we need to do here is say 2x minus 5 equals 22.5. We plus 5, add 5. 2x equals 27.5. Divide by 2. 13.75. Alright, our last problem here. Since we have 131 degrees here, we know that the base angle, 131 there. We know that these two angles are supplementary. 131 plus 5x minus 1 equals 180. Combining our like terms here, we have 130 plus 5x equals 180. You take away 130 from both sides, leaving us with 5x equals 50. When we divide by 5 on either side, x equals 10. Again, we come back to the key idea that we had here in number 15. Since they tell us it's the mid-segment, we know that these two parts right here, these two segments, are congruent. When two things are congruent in mathematics, you say that they are equal. So we're going to say 5y minus 6 equals 24. Add 6 to both sides. 5y equals 30. Then you divide by 5, and y equals 6. Hope you found this video helpful. Good luck studying, and have a good night.